Welcome to video 2 on creating a database-driven application in Visual Basic. In the first video, if you followed along, you see now we created our uh, fully functional contact database without having to write any code whatsoever. If you haven't seen the first video, I encourage you to follow along from the first video. In this video, we're going to add um, a different control to our details view here. We're going to add a format to our telephone field. So our field requires or is meant for phone numbers only. And if we have time, which we should, then we'll get into adding our own buttons to our form with the functionality of save, delete, and add. I did a individual video on that, but I thought I would include it in this application while we're working with it anyways. So to get started, if you have the previous project open, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find our telephone field, and we're just going to delete that. And we're going to go into our data source, and we're going to click details view, and we're going to expand this because it's only one field that we need to grab. So we're going to click on the telephone field, and from the drop down list here, here's where we could choose a control that we want to replace the current one with. If you don't see the control in here, you can click on customize, and you'll get a list of a variety of more controls that you can use for that field. So let's cancel out of that. We're just going to add a mask text box. So click on mask, and we're just going to click and drag that field onto our form. And I'm just going to remove that tab, that label. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is go into our properties, and under mask, we're going to click the little ellipse button here, and you can see here that we have a list of masks that we can add to our field. So you get the phone number, and you get the phone number without the area code. But in this case, we're just going to apply the phone number with the area code. Use validating type checked, and click OK. And you can see that it automatically applies that to our field. So now if we run our application, you can see here I can just click inside the box here and put in the area code and then the phone number, and click save, and then you can see it automatically updates in our data grid view as well. So that's just a real quick way of adding masks to certain fields. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some button functionality for save, delete, and add functionality here. So we're just going to go into our toolbox here, and we're just going to grab 3 buttons. Let's put these out onto the form here. 1, 2, 3. And also move over here. Okay, so I want to change the name. I'll change the text of these buttons to add new, save, and remove. Okay, so now we're going to start with the add new. So I'm going to double click on the add new button to create a button click event. And all we're going to type in here is me dot contact binding source dot add new. And we're going to double click on our save button. And here we're going to type in 3 lines of code, me.validate. And then we'll go me.contact binding source dot end edit. And the next one we'll go me.table adapter manager dot update all. And then bracket. And here's where we want to choose our data set that we're going to update. So that'll be me.contacts dataset. And then closing bracket. Okay, so that gives us the functionality of saving our record. Now we're going to apply a remove. So I'll go me.contact binding source dot remove current. So the record that we're currently viewing, that'll be, if we hit delete on a record that we're currently viewing, then that'll remove it from our database. So let's run our application. Okay, so now I'll click on add new, and we'll put some name, make it a female, phone number 111, whoops, 111 1111, and we'll click save, and we can add more records from here, and you can also remove records. So that's a real quick way of adding your own functionality just by putting in a few real short lines of code into your project. On the next video, we're going to grab a label controller or message box or something with user feedback, and we're going to display how many records are currently in our database. So basically what we're working towards is having this bar removed. If we have time, we will also get into adding our own buttons for our next, last, previous, and first for our navigation. So that concludes this second video on creating a database driven application in Visual Basic. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching.